Bonjour et bonsoir à tout le monde qui me suit aujourd'hui. Je suis bien Monsieur Brice Anthony, le directeur de Basumba Production. Je voudrais bien parler ce message en anglais pour que les politiciens occidentaux et partout dans le monde puissent bien euh, comprendre ce message. Et surtout à Monsieur Paul Kagame, qui est le président de la République du Rwanda. This message is sent to the UN and to the African Union to understand the politics that is going on in Congo Brazza-Ville since Mr. Sassou Nguesso took power in 1997 up to date. And the rule that is implementing in Congo Brazza-Ville. I would like first to send my greetings to Mr. President Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda. Mr. Paul Kagame, good morning to you, and good morning to your citizen of your country, Rwanda. We, the citizen of Congo Brazzaville, are sending this message to you to understand the political problem that we are facing in our country. And I think you did also take the power just the same as Mr. Sassou Nguesso was the president of Congo Brazzaville. And you know that very well that as Mr. Sassou Nguesso been in power even before you came in power of the Rwanda politic. Mr. Sassou Nguesso been in power since almost the time of our independence with the French colony. Our country is not doing well. When we are saying our country is not doing well, as we are talking about politically, and you know that very well as the issue that our country is facing. We are just trying to warn you and your government with the way you are directing your politics in Africa. Mr. Kagame, as a leader of Africa, we are seeking you to think twice before you move into Congo Brazzaville politics and to come and invest in our country where the politics is not stable. Mr. Kagame, the citizen of my country, Congo Brazzaville, doesn't want to have any problem with the citizen of Rwanda. We are in peace, even with the refugee of the Tutsi who left your country for the political war. We are in peace with them. And we don't want the same issue that you are doing into DRC, Congo Kinshasa, to move into Congo Brazzaville. Because, Mr. Kagame, the consequences will be very bad. Because you're already facing the political problem with our neighbor, who is our family, the DRC, Congo Kinshasa. We are the speaking French colony. The DRC also are a speaking French colony from the Belgium. We are the speaking French. We, the Brazzaville, are the speaking French colony from the French country, meaning France. Mr. Kagame, think twice. You are doing well with your politic in your country. And we are wishing you to continue doing well for the Rwandan people. We don't want to have any problem with the Rwandan. And you know, in our country, we have so many arrests of the political people who are some are in prison, some have left our country. Our politics is not doing well, Mr. Kagame, for you to move the economy of your country to come and invest it in Congo Brazza-Ville. We don't mind that move of the African economy to rise up, but we mind it at this moment where our politics is not doing well. We still have our internal problem in our politics that we are trying to sort out for many years, and we still not have any solution yet. Mr. Sassou Nguesso took power of the presidential seat in 1979. You understand, Mr. Kagame? That meaning we, the people of Congo Brazzaville, we are living under a dictatorship that we're still facing. For you to move in with the money of the Rwanda to come and invest in our country. My country been taking so many money in different country to come and invest since Mr. Sassou Nguesso been in power. Up to now, we are not seeing any development. So we don't want to owe any money from your country. Please take your money and go and invest it somewhere else, because my country is still having a political problems. The government that is ruling my country is not as a legitimate government voted by the people of Congo. That's why some of us have left that country because of that kind of dictatorship. Mr. Sassou Nguesso been a dictator even in his political party called PCT, Parti Congolais du Travail. In English, meaning a party of the Congolese workers who have become a party of the Congolese killer. Mr. Kagame, my country doesn't want to owe any money to your country that you will regret as no one will pay it back. Why I am saying no one will pay it back? Because Mr. Sassou Nguesso know that very well that is leaving the power soon, because he doesn't have any mandate anymore. He's trying to put his son in power, and this thing we are trying to stop it in Africa to continue going on, where when the father die and the son take the power to replace the father in the seat of the presidential. Mr. Kagame, right now Africa is trying his best to clean up the bad behavior that we used to have in the past. We know that you have given Mr. Sassou Nguesso money so that he can give you the land to come and do the agriculture business in my country. We, the son of Congo Brazzaville, we are not the lazy people. But it's just an unfortunate that we have a bad governance in our country. And we are not seeking for your people to come and help us in agriculture business. We can do it better ourselves, just like the way you are doing it in your country. You didn't finish yet with the problem that you have politically with DRC Congo, the Republic Democratic of Congo, Kinshasa. So please, face first the issue that you have with our neighbor, with our family in Congo Kinshasa. Then you can see if really your politics is doing well in Africa. We know it's doing well in your country, Rwanda, but we know it very well is not doing well in some neighboring country of your country. Please, Mr. Kagame, take your money back and go and invest it somewhere else, not in Congo Brazzaville. We, the people of Brazzaville, were saying no. Because if you force yourself, the government that will come after Mr. Sassou Nguesso will never pay you back. And we are warning also the international community to listen to the message of the people of Congo, the Republic of Congo. We are crying so much to remove Mr. Sassou Nguesso in power. This man, Sassou Nguesso, is a war crime, just like Mr. Kagame. And we know it very well. The genocide did happen in Rwanda. Right now, the international community of politics are trying to make Mr. Kagame to be a clean man today. And we know the genocide that Mr. Kagame did in 1994, where the Hutus were killed by the machetes. So, my question to you, the leader of the world, what example are you sending to us? Today, Mr. Kagame is cleaned up in front of your eyes. It's just the same thing that is happening in Ukraine and Russia. Tomorrow, you guys, you're going to say again, Mr. Putin, he was right, and he's a good man. When today, we are calling him as a bad man. What politics are we showing or are we portraying to the world of today, where the killers, the criminals, are becoming good people today? Mr. Sassou Nguesso been in power for so long, and we have so many crime, so many political crime did happen in our country. We don't have any survivor ex-president who's still alive in our country up to today. That meaning there is something wrong with Congo Brazzaville politics, where the people of the party of PCT, where Sassou is belong as a leader of that party, is selling the people of Congo very cheap to another criminal just like Paul Kagame to come and buy the land, the agricultural land in Congo Brazza-Ville. The African leaders, where are you to put these men in order who have committed so many crimes to his citizens, who have committed so many economical crimes? You're still receiving Mr. Sassou Nguesso as a good leader. Mr. Sassou Nguesso was in power before Nelson Mandela came out of prison. Mr. Mandela came out of prison and ruled one term in South Africa and left the power. Mr. Sassou Nguesso is still in power. Mr. Thabo Mbeki came in power and ruled South Africa, left his office in peace. Mr. Sassou Nguesso is still in power. Mr. Jacob Zuma came in power. Mr. Sassou Nguesso is still in power. Mr. Jacob Zuma left the office of South African presidential seat. And now we have Mr. Mutante, who came in power. Mr. Sassou Nguesso is still in power. So you, the leader of Africa, please tell me, how would you call this kind of a leader? I don't want to give you any answer. You yourself, as the leaders of Africa and the leader of the world, please tell me, how would you describe this kind of a leader? If we don't have how can you call it? If we really have a peace in my country, I think from now we'll be having a different president, just like other country. Mr. Sassou Nguesso been in power before even Mrs. Margaret Thatcher. Mrs. Margaret Thatcher left the power. This man is still in power. Mr. Tony Blair been in power, left the office. This man is still in power. Mr. Gordon Brown, all of them, they left. This man is still in power. And you, the leader of the world, you're still receiving this kind of leaders in your conference. This kind of people, they were not supposed to come in, even in UN meeting or conference. That show this man is a dictatorship to his people. How do you want the people of Congo Brazza-Ville to cry to the world that we are living under a dictatorship? All his family are occupying all the posts of the country, all the best posts. Now the son is a minister, is a vice president. Please. This man been in power, Sassou Nguesso been in power before even Obama. Before even George Bush Jr. Before even George Bush Sr., the father. All of them, they left. Donald Trump came and found this man in power. Mr. Donald Trump left. This man is still in power. So you, the leader of the world, please tell the people of the Congo, how would you describe this kind of a leader, Mr. Sassou Nguesso? The age that Mr. Sassou Nguesso been sitting in power is the same age as Mr. President Emmanuel Macron. Please, the leader of the world, tell me, how would you describe this kind of a leader? If it's not a dictatorship, what is it we're going to call? This man been in power even before Putin come in power. Please, the leader of the world, describe this man. How would you call him? How much people do you want to die in Congo Brazzaville before the world stand up to this man? If really this world have a proper justice and human right, why are you still receiving some of the dictatorship in your conference without chasing them out? We, the children of Congo who have left the country before the world, who are protesting, we can't go back home because they want our head chopped off. We have so many of our brother and sister who died in that Congo River, who been a refugee in DRC Congo after 1997. Those who wanted to go back home to start fixing their home. Many of the youth been locked in containers and zinc them into the Congo River. The human rights know about this issue, but you're still receiving this kind of people in your conference. It's very sad that we are living in the world where the leaders are selfish. They are closing their eyes to these dictators. Today, Mr. Kagame is a good man. When we know that the human right been standing up, talking about this man as a genocide person. And now you, the leader of the world, you want to send the refugee in Rwanda when even the Tutsis, they're still out of their country. Many of them didn't go back home yet to settle. They are afraid to go back there. Many of their activists, they're still outside Rwanda. What message are you sending to us, you, the leader of the world? To me, I can say the message you are sending to us is you don't care as how much innocent people will die. It's the same thing also will happen with the Ukrainian people. Because today, Putin is killing, is slaughtering there. The whole world is accusing. All of us, we are witnessing what is happening in Ukraine. And tomorrow this man will be a good man. It's the same thing with the Paul Kagame and the Sassou Nguesso. You're still receiving them. You have given the embargo to Russia. Why don't you give also the embargo to country like Rwanda, the country like Congo Brazza-Ville? It's because you don't care about people's life. We, the people of Congo Brazzaville, we are accusing the French government, not the French people. We love them because we have our sibling that been married with the French people. Many of them have children with the Congolese people. French citizens are good people, but not their government. They call our country Congo Brazzaville, the capital of France. That is the country when de Gaulle ran away France from the German Nazis. That is the country where he went and settled. We are asking Mr. Emmanuel Macron and his government who've been supporting this Mr. Sassou Nguesso, the slaughter of the Congolese people, to do something about it, because they are the one who brought him back in power. We had the president that been elected by the people of Congo, who just passed away, Mr. Lisuba. And we had also another one who just died from a poison, Mr. Brice Parfait Kolela. They killed him in Congo. They came and dumped his body in France. The government of France, they know about it. We, the engineer 242, call in France the engineer 242. We're seeking the arrest immediate of Mr. Sassou Nguesso for selling the land of the southern people of Congo to the government of Rwanda by the exchange of ammunition and the money that is going to enjoy with his family. Our country, Congo Brazza-Ville, been sold out very cheap to the Rwandan government. And we are calling the UN leaders to call Mr. Kagame in order to cancel that business he have portrayed with Mr. Sassou Nguesso. To the people of Rwanda as well, to help the people of Congo Brazzaville and to help the people of DRC to bring peace in the table with them. Because the Rwandan government have to know that we, the people of southern of Congo, the Bakongo people, the Bakongo children, we will fight back after the falling of Sassou Nguesso for our land. We will fight back the government of Rwanda, and they will not get any penny from us. Because in Congo Brazzaville, the land is not belong to the government, but the land is belong to some ethnic group. Many of us are chiefs. They call us chiefs, but before they used to call us king and prince of the land. Brazzaville belong to the Bateke tribe and the Bakongo tribe. It's not belong to the people of the northern side. Sassou Nguesso come from the northern side of Congo, but he didn't sell the land into the northern side of the Congo, but he's selling the land that not belong to his tribe. That is to create more tension between the people of southern Congo and to the people of the northern Congo. Sorry, I have to drink something because of my throat. Sorry again to the viewer. Mr. Sasungeso have divided our country. He have divided our Congo, where the people of the south and the people of the north have become kind of enemies because of this family. They are saving money all over around the world. His son, Kiki Ngeso Christel, he was also the chief of the petroleum of Congo Brazza-Ville. The French government, they know about it. They own companies in Switzerland of petroleum. They own buildings in France. They own chateaux in France. Most of those parliamentary people of Congo Brazzaville who are behind Monsieur Sassou Nguesso are owning property, not small building, but big property in France and all over around the world. We had also our leader from the UK who was in prison, who was just released not long ago. Thank you to the British government for doing their best to release this man into the hand of Sassou Nguesso. His name is President Paulin Makaya. Thank you to the British government. You have shown us your muscle, how you care about the situation in Congo Brazzaville and your citizens. Mr. Paulin Makaya is a citizen of the UK. He was also a candidate to the presidential, but he was unfortunate, arrested just because of being a candidate. We have also other two more big opposition candidates that are still in prison. President Okombi Salisan and Mr. Jean-Michel Mukoko, who is still in prison. Now is 6 years that are in prison without any solution, even when the UN have says to Mr. Sassou Nguesso to release those people from prison, but they're still there. And Mr. Sassou Nguesso, the UN have given him the power to become a peacekeeper. How can a criminal become a peacekeeper when he can't even bring peace in his own country? I don't know how do you elect people in UN. My last word that I'm going to point again to the leader of the world to call Mr. Kagame in order to leave the border of DRC and to leave the land of Congo Brazzaville. Because, Mr. Kagame, you can't fight two countries at the same time. Remember this message. You can't fight two countries at the same time. You can't become a new colonizer of other African countries. Mr. Kagame, We think as Rwanda got his own challenge, and we think you should leave the DRC border, and you should leave also Congo Brazza-Ville villages and land, because we are the future leader of that country. Remember this message. And to the Rwandan people, this message is for you to make it reach the ears of your leaders. We don't want to have a future problem with you. We don't want any war in Africa. We are tired of war in Africa. We have lost so many people in the Mediterranean Sea. We have lost so many people in our countries, including Rwanda as well. Please bring Mr. Kagame in order to focus on the issue of Rwanda. This is another politician. I want to make you to hear. Is in France, in French. I know some of you does understand French, and please make an interpretation about this. I would keep a silence for everybody to listen to this of our politician from Congo. Is also one of a candidate leaders in the presidential. His name is Clément Mirassa. Listen to his point of view.
Clément Mirassa, bonjour. Bonjour. Alors, vous dénoncez souvent la gabegie à la tête de l'État congolais, mais la facilité de crédit de quelques 450 millions de dollars que le FMI vient d'accorder à votre pays, est-ce que ce n'est pas la preuve quand même que le gouvernement fait des efforts?
Ben, vous savez bien que le gouvernement avait signé un accord en juillet 2019 et qu'il n'a pas pu respecter ses engagements. Ça dit déjà un certain nombre de choses et je vous rappelle que dans ce cadre, nous avons eu un problème de dette cachée. Bon, cette fois-ci, il semble qu'ils ont renoué avec le Fonds monétaire international, mais les problèmes de gabegie ne sont pas réglés parce que vous savez qu'en matière de lutte contre la corruption, au moment où des pays comme l'Angola font des prouesses, l'Angola, je vous rappelle, a pu recouvrer 5 milliards de dollars en 2019, a recouvré en début d'année 11 milliards de dollars, mais au Congo, absolument rien ne se passe et une de nos préoccupations, c'est justement le silence observé par les autorités sur les graves scandales économiques et financiers.
Grâce à la hausse du prix du baril de pétrole et donc grâce à l'augmentation des recettes, le Premier ministre promet de gérer le front social et notamment de solder les 3 ans d'arriérés de pension des retraités en fonction de l'amélioration de la situation financière. Est-ce que cela vous satisfait?
Oh, ça ne me satisfait pas.
Do you hear what this leader is talking about and how he's answering these questions? My country, they did give them money to the international monetary funding. We don't know, we the people of Congo Brazzaville, we don't know where that money went to. Every time they give us money, even the Chinese government did give my country money, and we don't know where that money went to. And you, Mr. Kagame, you are bringing also the money of the Rwandan into my country. We won't pay it. We will never pay you any penny. Because we, the citizen of Congo Brazzaville, we know this man will fall down. Even if you bring, we know you have an agreement with Mr. Sassou Nguesso to bring the soldier of Rwanda before the election of Congo Brazzaville to come in and support him. But let me tell you, we will fight your country back physically. And we will join with the Congo DRC to fight you because you are creating a war in Africa, and prepare for the consequences. And we are ready to fight you. And we know that you will never fight Congo DRC and Congo Brazza-Ville. We, the people of Congo Brazza-Ville and Kinshasa, we are one people. We speak the same language, even ethnical languages. You know that very well. If we join ourselves, Rwanda is a small piece of land. And we don't want to have any trouble with the Rwandan people. Please take your hand out of our lands. Because now, Mr. Kagame, whatever that you have built into that country, don't think as a gun can finish the people just easily like that. We see the war, how it's going in Ukraine. Did you see how the people of Ukraine are fighting back a big country? Imagine your country. It's easy to get in your country. It's the same geopolitical issue. So we don't want any trouble with the Rwandan, but please take your hand out of DRC, take your hand out of Congo Brazzaville. Listen again what this man is talking about, this leader.
Regrette qu'on ait attendu encore cette amélioration au niveau de la hausse des prix du baril du pétrole. Parce qu'auparavant, nous n'avons toujours pas obtenu que le gouvernement engage une lutte sérieuse contre la corruption. Vous voyez, au moment où les autres pays récupèrent l'argent qui a été dilapidé du trésor public, au Congo, il n'y a absolument rien qui se passe. Et en ce qui concerne l'amélioration, nous aurions pensé, en ce qui nous concerne, qu'il fallait mettre un accent tout particulier sur la lutte contre la corruption pour récupérer des fonds qui ont été détournés et ensuite que l'on profite de la hausse des prix du baril du pétrole. Je crois qu'il y a une hausse significative qui aurait pu permettre de faire ce que l'on a fait dans les années 2006, à savoir ouvrir un compte de stabilisation, parce que vous savez, nous ne sommes pas maîtres, nous ne maîtrisons pas l'évolution des coûts du prix du baril du pétrole. Si d'aventure demain il y a renversement de la situation, il ne faut pas qu'on vienne crier devant la population qu'il y a crise. Donc il aurait fallu pour nous apurer les différentes situations des retraités, des opérateurs économiques, des étudiants. Tout ça se passe dans une gestion opaque et nous regrettons qu'il n'y ait pas la transparence et que les gouvernants ne communiquent pas sur cette question extrêmement importante.
Afin de sortir du tout pétrole, le gouvernement a lancé un plan national de développement basé notamment sur l'agriculture, l'industrie et le numérique. Est-ce qu'il ne va pas dans le bon sens?
Le plan, au niveau des idées, des déclarations, va dans le bon sens. Mais les Congolais attendent les gouvernants au niveau des actes. Et au niveau des actes, ça se fait attendre.
Pour développer l'agriculture, le gouvernement va faire venir des fermiers rwandais qui vont exploiter quelques 12 000 hectares de terres arables pendant 25 ans. Est-ce que c'est un bon exemple de coopération sud-sud?
Pour nous, ce n'est pas un bon exemple. Pour moi, c'est la négation de la capacité au travail des Congolais. Et en plus, ça se fait en violation flagrante des lois et règlements de la République, notamment l'article 44 de la Constitution, qui dit clairement que tout accord, toute convention, tout arrangement administratif ou d'autres faits qui a pour conséquence de priver la nation de tout ou partie de ses propres moyens d'exister, tirés de ses ressources naturelles ou de ses richesses, est considéré comme un crime de pillage et puni par la loi. Et je vous relis l'article 219 qui...
Sorry again to stop. I want to mention this again to my people of Congo Brazzaville. Pona bino bandeko na ngai ya Congo Brazzaville, oyo baza ba suiviste ba malanda ngombe. Imaginez-vous un peu, Monsieur Sassou Nguesso et son fils Christelle Kiki signent un accord de 25 ans avec des Rwandais. Est-ce que nous, les Congolais, nous sommes des feignants? Est-ce que bisoto yebi agriculture te? Bino bandeko na ngai ya Nord, ya Oyo, boyebi sangai. Est-ce que Monsieur Sassou, sa tête, est-ce que vraiment ça fonctionne bien? Pour papa Oyo, aza papa libota soki ozozwa lopango na yo ozopesa yango epai ya voisin agere yo ndenge yo kolia na ndako na yo, est-ce que papa wana aza papa mayele? Dites-moi un peu. Dites-moi un peu. Combien de fois toko soutenir Monsieur Sassou Nguesso et sa famille? Est-ce que vraiment bino oyo boza na PCT, est-ce que vraiment boza vraiment ba Congolais? Est-ce que vraiment bozo réfléchir ba signature oyo bozo signer na pays logo la Rwanda? Qu'est-ce que le Rwanda aza nango oyo biso le Congo toza nango ti? Boyebisanga bandeko na ngai. Atako balobi ke tobanga koloba te. Que soki olobi, on te coupe la tête. Si tu parles, if you talk, they will chop your head. Nayebisa bino bandeko na ngai. C'est le moment ou jamais. Congolais, bima libanda, revendiquer ba droit mabele. Pour ce qu'on a vraiment Congolais au botami na mabele wana ya Congo mfwa. On dit ma vraiment papa oyo. Pour AGP et ça la kaeloko moko boye na tête. Toyebi yango bien, moto soka komo kola pe age komo poussa na trop, atako ozalaki maele. O koma logo la bébé. On doit faire quelque chose. Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Nini yango monsieur Sassou azolinga atika avant liwana ye na mabele wana ya Congo. To réfléchir bandeko na ngai puisque tokoya ko simba mitu. Puisque Sassou et sa famille eux ils sont fous na ba vie na biso. Ne croyez pas que bozo ba 5 000 hein, qu'on vous donne là hein, lorsqu'ils quittent dans des pays étrangers là, boye groupement là na aéroport hein, kozelaka ba leader wana bazomona que non mais tout va bien au Congo. Mais c'est ça le message que vous donnez et l'impression. Hein? Si vous restez dans vos maisons, là, vous ne partez pas là-bas. Les gens vont commencer à s'imaginer qu'est-ce qui ne va pas dans ce pays. Hein? Tozo Kendena Brazzaville wapi. Fois azo kufa. Mais biso bana ya Congo to vandi wana. Na ba bar plein. On a réduit la boisson au Congo pour que beaucoup m'a ivrogne. Pour que vous réfléchir moins. Pour Olala qui n'a masanga, tu vas moins réfléchir. Congolais azalaki mahele. Ba professeur lokola ba Théophile Obenga baza vraiment icône ya monde historiquement. Là, ce professeur-là, moi, je ne l'ai pas connu au Congo. Mais là, il est bien au niveau des États-Unis. Bazo Zelaye loko la roi. Nan Valley Conférence. Mais bozo enseigné nini na ba école wana. Ozala qui conseiller na ye papa Théophile. Qu'est-ce que vous avez conseillé à ce monsieur? Qu'est-ce que vous dites à propos de la signature avec des Rwandais? Bon. Rwanda, Agomemelabiso Nini, qu'est-ce que le Congolais ne peut pas faire? Est-ce qu'on n'a pas vraiment des gens qui connaissent l'élevage et l'agriculture au Congo? Mitou Nabiso Eke Wapi, Boyo Kabino Moko, s'il vous plaît, suivez ce que monsieur le président Mirassa parle. Azolo Babozo Bate, Bino Basuiviste, Bino Batwa PCT. Un jour, ceux qui vont se rattraper maintenant, et vous, Tati Mabiala, vous tous là, vous avez contribué à la chute et à le Congo. Mais n'oubliez pas, vous avez bana wana bakobote la bino ba petit-fils, mais bino vous avez la poche à l'élo. Et demain, même si vous commencez à acheter des appartements ou bien des maisons en Europe, On a vu des leaders qui ont acheté des maisons, hein? Mais bazanango li sous-souté. On est mieux chez soi. Boyebi yango bien. Liloba wana ndenge balobaka yango. Écoutez bien.
Qui dit que nulle cession, nul échange, nulle adjonction du territoire national n'est valable sans le consentement du peuple congolais appelé à
wana ba article ya mboka ezoloba.
Je constate que ces dispositions de notre constitution n'ont pas été respectées et je dénonce cette pratique.
Il doit être arrêté normalement.
Puisque ces terres seront exploitées
si vraiment elle a justice au Congo.
de droit congolais soutenu par une holding rwandaise.
Ça, c'est le gouvernement qui le dit. Nous suspectons qu'il s'agit d'une cession et nous regrettons que ces accords ne soient pas disponibles pour toute l'opinion nationale. Nous aurions souhaité faire les commentaires sur la base de ces textes, mais nous ne les avons pas. Mais nous soupçonnons que ce soit une cession. Et nous le regrettons, nous le condamnons sévèrement.
Dans 3 mois, c'est-à-dire au mois de juillet, sont prévues les élections législatives. Est-ce que la fédération de l'opposition congolaise y participera?
Je crois que la position de la fédération de l'opposition congolaise, comme celle d'un certain nombre de partis ou de collectifs de partis est connue, au Rwanda a été une mascarade, ça a été une infâme tromperie. Et nous pensons que les choses ne sont pas faites pour que l'on ait une élection libre, démocratique et transparente. Puis j'ai suivi un peu ce que le Premier ministre vous a dit, mais il y a un certain nombre de choses que le Premier ministre ne vous a pas évoquées, s'agissant par exemple de la conformité à la loi. Je prends déjà la conformité à la Constitution de la République du Congo. Je vous signale déjà que le président de la République est en situation manifeste d'incompatibilité constitutionnelle parce qu'il est en effet président du Parti congolais du travail.
Donc il ne devait même pas être même le président du parti.
L'article 80 de la Constitution du 25
Même dans PCT, ils sont sous la dictature.
Que le mandat du président de la République est également incompatible avec toute responsabilité au sein d'un parti politique. Je continue en disant aussi que depuis 2002, le président de la République n'a pas déclaré son patrimoine, violant ainsi de façon claire l'article 55 de la Constitution.
Vous comprenez bien. Il a violé même les articles 55, il a violé.
L'article 77.
77 aussi.
Le serment de respecter et de faire respecter la Constitution. Ça, c'est le premier point. Le deuxième point, le Parti congolais du travail n'est pas en conformité avec la loi. En fait, ce parti a reconduit le président de la République comme le président du Parti congolais
donc,
du travail.
Donc, PCT est complice.
Violant ainsi la
il y a un malheur, il y a un Congolais.
Conforme à la loi. Il aurait dû être sanctionné selon les dispositions de l'article 26 de la loi sur les partis, qui dit que les partis ont le devoir de se conformer à la Constitution. Et ensuite, parce qu'il y a un article 31 qui dit qu'en cas de violation de la loi par un parti, il doit être sanctionné. Alors vous voyez,
il n'a jamais été sanctionné.
À cela, j'ajouterai que le Premier ministre, de même que le président du Sénat, le président de l'Assemblée nationale, ne sont pas en conformité avec la loi pour avoir fait partie des 2500...
Et tous, ils doivent être arrêtés ou bien rectifier vos erreurs maintenant ou jamais.
Lors de leur congrès de décembre 2019. Donc, comme vous voyez, en suivant le raisonnement du Premier ministre, le Parti congolais du travail n'étant pas conforme à la loi, il n'aurait pas dû prendre part à la concertation de Rwanda. Et vous voyez bien que le Congo est dans une situation extrêmement préoccupante, extrêmement chaotique, qui mérite une attention toute particulière.
Donc, vous allez boycotter les législatives du mois de juillet, hein?
Je dois vous dire que pour la concertation de Rwanda, le ministre de l'administration du territoire avait reçu la fédération de l'opposition congolaise le 1er mars.
Partagez ça nombreux. Partagez ça.
Nous avons
na YouTube, osalamwa na DRC, Congo, RDC, vous partagez en partout, ba Rwanda, ba Yokango. Tokobongama.
Donc, avant l'élection, nous aurons un conseil fédéral de notre fédération. Nous aurons également une convention. Je crois que nous irons dans le sens de ne pas participer à ces élections législatives qui se feront dans l'irrespect total des lois et règlements de la République.
Mais beaucoup disent que la nature a horreur du vide. Est-ce que d'autres partis d'opposition, comme l'UPADS de Pascal Tsatima-Biala et l'UDH Yuki du défunt Guy Brice Parfait-Kolela, ne vont pas y aller, eux, et ne vont pas prendre votre place dans le cœur des électeurs?
Bon, je ne me mets pas à leur place, mais quand je prends le cas, par exemple, de l'UPADES de Pascal Satibabiala, il vous souviendra que l'UPADES avait décidé de ne pas aller à l'élection présidentielle et il y a une autre leader de l'opposition qui avait déclaré qu'on ne peut pas aller à une élection dont les résultats sont connus d'avance. Mais les conditions n'ont pas du tout changé. Tout ça se fera dans l'irrespect total des lois et règlements de la République.
Mais à force de ne pas aller aux élections, est-ce que les électeurs ne vont pas finir par vous oublier?
Mais s'ils nous oublient, vous savez bien que la
On ne peut pas vous oublier, M. Clément Mirassa.
souffre d'avoir deux de ses leaders charismatiques en prison, André Okombi-Sadissa et Jean.
Ils doivent libérer André Okombi-Sadissa.
Je ne crois pas que nos électeurs vont faiblir.
Et Moukoko, ils doivent être libérés. C'est des prisonniers politiques.
Le Premier ministre n'exclut pas une remise de peine. Est-ce que cela vous rassure?
J'ai suivi le Premier ministre, sa position a même évolué parce qu'il vous souviendra qu'en septembre 2021, lorsqu'on lui avait parlé de l'amnistie, il avait parlé beaucoup plus d'un besoin de contrition et il apparaissait qu'il ne pouvait pas avoir de contrition parce que ces deux leaders ne se reprochaient absolument rien. Bon, cette fois-ci, j'ai suivi que ce sera le juge des peines qui prendra la décision le moment venu. Moi, je dirais que nous sommes heureux que toute la communauté internationale se rende compte que André Okombi-Sadissa et Jean-Marie Michel Moukoko sont des prisonniers politiques parce que nous y tenons beaucoup.
Le chantage et l'interpellation, ça ne servira à rien, dit le Premier ministre.
Il ne s'agit pas de chantage. Lorsque le gouvernement congolais a décidé de ne pas poursuivre le pasteur Ntoumi, ce n'était pas du chantage. Il semble que c'était dans un souci de paix.
Merci.
Lorsqu'on regarde autour de nous tout ce qui se passe, que ce soit en Côte d'Ivoire, que ce soit au Bénin, que ce soit au Mali et autres, le Congo fait exception à la matière. Vous savez bien que André Okombi-Sadissa et Jean-Marie Michel Moukoko ont purgé déjà 6 ans en prison. C'est extrêmement lourd. Vous savez également qu'il y a eu des démarches menées par le groupe de travail des Nations Unies sur les disparitions forcées. Vous savez également qu'il y a eu d'autres interventions. Je crois que c'est un problème qui préoccupe beaucoup de pays, qui préoccupe beaucoup de personnalités, tant congolaises qu'extérieures. Et nous pensons qu'il faut que l'on aille vers effectivement la libération effective. Nous continuerons notre combat là-dessus.
Le Premier ministre promet la carte d'électeur biométrique pour la présidentielle de 2026. Est-ce que cela vous convient?
J'en rigole, monsieur Bouvier.
Merci, M. Clément Mirassa. Merci vraiment. Alors, Bandeko Nangaï, bazo promettre bino document biométrique. Mais entre-temps, au Congo, pour qu'on soit livré carte d'identité, ils ont passé. Passeport, ils ont passé. Wana eza ba droit ya ba citoyen bazo brimer biso na ba droit na biso. To get a passport of Congolese is very hard. To get a card of identity is very hard in Congo. Those are the two rights of the citizen. They know that they can't give us those documents, but those documents have been given to the foreigners who we don't know. Some of them are rebels from different countries. These are the problems we are facing in Congo Brazza-Ville. Thank you for those who are going to watch this video. Please help us to make reach this video to the UN. Thank you very much et merci pour tout le monde qui ont suivi notre message. Merci. 242 Ingeta. Les indignés 242 Ingeta. Président Nitu Ingeta. Bino nyonso ya bakombatant ya Congo Brazza-Ville Ingeta. Bakongolais à Kinshasa Ingeta. Ingeta. Wayambo Ingeta. Merci.